Hello and welcome to this intermediate course in MX Excel. Now, before we get into this intermediate course, we should know what is the prerequisite. Okay, so the prerequisite for this course is that you have to be familiar with Excel interface. So you should have worked a bit on Excel, not an advanced level, but basic level. You should know what are the different Excel menus and how to use them, like how to open a file, save, format. You should also know some basic calculations which you can do in Excel, like sum, average, max, min, and count, how to work with tables, and so on. You should know some data entry techniques and formatting techniques of cells, merging cells, applying borders and shadings. Now, if you think you are not familiar with all these concepts, then you can please enroll for the beginner level course before you enroll for this intermediate course. Now, the different topics we are going to cover in this module. Number one, we are first going to review your basic Excel functions. So we'll learn something which is very basic. We'll just do a review and recap of whatever you know in the basic level. After that, we'll get into some advanced formulas like if, and, or, sum if, count if functions, which are logical functions, which we use in our day-to-day activities. Again, a very, very important lookup and reference functions where we can look up from a database a particular value based on certain value and get it, because we have a huge database and we try to find out or try to pick up a value based on certain conditions. So we have those lookup and reference functions. We have text functions where we need to concatenate, add two strings together to form a single string, get a part of the string, and so on and so forth. Date and time function as well, where you want to print today's date, or you want to get the year part of the date, or add two dates, and so on and so forth. So all these things we'll be learning in this particular chapter. After we have learned all these things, we'll be going into the data part, managing those data, how to sort your data. We have a huge number of data in Excel. As we know, Excel can contain a large number of data. So sorting those data, filtering the data which you require, using tables to manage your data. Of course, your validations of your data are very important because you won't allow anybody to enter anything on your sheet. So you need to validate your data. Then you need to format it conditionally. You should color it, provide some icons, based on certain conditions. You want to highlight some data so that is easy for you to understand your data and take decisions, business decisions very fast. Of course, we'll use pivot tables, very important as far as your creating reports are concerned. You have a huge data and there are a lot of queries which your management is asking for, and you want to really create those queries and get the data very, very fast. Then this pivot table is so very important to get your data, filter it, and based on different ad hoc queries. It's very fast. And by just dragging and dropping fields on a pivot, you can actually pivot around. You can play around with your data and generate a lot of reports. So this is a very, very important topic. A lot of people would be interested in this part. Of course, then you'll do a what if analysis, that if you have a data and you want to do a goal seek, you have certain data and you want to do a back calculations, you can use goal seek. You can certainly use data tables to find out what are how the value affects if certain value changes. Then you have scenarios which you can build and see those scenarios with certain formulas and create summary reports of those scenarios. So this is what if analysis, which we are going to learn in this particular module. Of course, we'll have a lot of practice, lots of hand-ons. Most of the learning process would be example, hands-on, worksheets would be given to you. There are a lot of MCQs and quizzes to understand whether you've understood the concept or not, and a lot of real-life examples which will be given to you. We will have worksheets which we'll be providing, on which we'll be working. So all these would make up the actual work of how we are going to learn all these concepts. So there'll be a lot of learning by doing is what we believe in. So we'll have a demo code. You have a lot of hands-on exercises, MCQs and quizzes, real life examples, and so on. Then regarding myself, I would be your tutor for this particular module. And my name is Asif Iqbal Siddiqui. I have around 20 plus years of teaching MS Excel, different levels, beginners, intermediate and advanced. I also do a lot of automation using macros, records a lot of steps, and then play them again and again. And if you really want to build your own system by writing your own code, then of course VBA is a very, very important part to it. I have taught whom? I have taught different corporates, individuals, and students um, about these softwares and how to apply them into their domain. I'll just give you a small demo on how I'll be going to teach you a small demo to understand the style of my teaching. And the demo would be on named ranges. So let's go to that demo here. You have a sheet here, if you can see. And I've just created a small employee salary sheet here. And we'll be talking about a very important concept here called named ranges. Okay. Now, if you look at this named ranges, what does it mean? Now, when you have this salary sheet, how do you get the total for this salary? Now, people who are actually working on this sheet, very easy. We can go here, do an auto sum, and then we'll say enter, and we'll get this. So this is my salary, total salary, which I have calculated. Now, if I want to know the maximum salary, it's again very, very simple. You need to go and say is equal to, put a max here, put a function, drag the cell, and it gives you the max salary. Now, what I want to teach you here is that every time you want to refer to this salary, you have to remember this range here, C8 to C14. Can I give a name to this range? Can I call it by name? Because we all know that we can remember names better than numbers. So C18 and C14 we'll forget, because which part or which range of cells are having my salary, all the salaries of my employees. But if you can remember, if I can change this range and convert it to a name, for example, I can call this range, the entire range as salary, and refer to this entire range as a salary in my worksheet, my life becomes very easy, it becomes very easy. So how to do that? It's very simple though. What we need to do is we need to select the cell. There's one way. There are many ways of doing things, but I'm just showing you the simplest way of doing it. You just need to select the cell, go here, and just type here salary and say enter. Now you have given a name to this cell. Now every time you select this cell, you'll get a salary here, which means that if you now refer to this max, you don't need to refer as C8 to C14. Rather, you will say salary, and that's it. I'll give you the max salary. Similarly, you'll say is equal to min, and then you will just need to say salary. That's it. You don't need to drag. You just need to remember that this range is called a salary, and that is the minimum salary among this range. And if you want, you can get the average salary here by just calling the salary. So this what makes my life very easy. It's very easy. Now you'll be able to work with this, and that is what is called as named ranges. Now, where are these named ranges stored? There are row stores here in the name manager. You will see that this is stored here in the name manager with the name salary. You can go, and if you want, you can edit it and change the range to something else. So this was a small demo which I had given for you to understand what we are going to learn. Now, once this named ranges you understand, then you would be able to work with formulas and functions very easily, because named range is very important. And you will see when you're doing data validation also, these named range becomes very helpful. So named ranges are very, very important concept in Excel as far as your functions and formulas is concerned. I hope you've understood this part. You've understood how we are doing this. So we are looking forward to meet you soon and discuss further on the same. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Have a very nice day.